Hey y'all, welcome to Other Realm Studio. I'm Paula, and look, this is one of my new pages that I got in today. One of the pages of bonus material for the comic Soulbound Adrift. The first of 10 issues, and it's going to have this 8-page bonus beginning of the story. Let me get this down here. And I'm just so excited to be working with this. My artist, Mia, she came through for me a day earlier than I expected her to. She just continually surpasses my expectations in everything she does. So I am just really excited to get to work on this one. So, let's see. The first step in coloring a comic is the very first step is to plan out what your colors are going to be. And then, your color scheme, and you adjust that as you go a lot as well. But then the next step is called flatting. So you do your flat colors, and then you go over that with your shading and your highlights and so on. But flat colors are what you're familiar with like classic comics or Sunday paper comics. It's just not as detailed, and just the basic color of the object that you're working with. So I needed to ask, which of these is the N? Although zooming in on it now, I think I can see it a little more clearly. Really, it could be any of these buildings. But yeah, we have a nice little mountaintop village going on. Let's see. Oh, I may have selected the wrong thing to be coloring. Okay, right in here. That's alright, it selected all the layers. So I'm just going to block in where the colors belong. Let's see. Now here she has the shading done already on these trees. So this should be getting darker than it actually is. I don't know, it might be. Let's see, so if we delete that. Okay, so this gray tone is over the colors. Let's see. And I'm just pretty much gonna skip around and pick different places to start. See, if I just click the paint bucket down on this spot because there's gaps between these lines, it's going to color everything. Because there's not a whole lot of hard lines. So, let me see. Let's come down here. So if I take the polyline tool and select where I need the colors to stay, then it'll just stay in that boundary. And I use the polyline tool instead of the, let's see, deselect that now, instead of the rectangle, because this is not a rectangle. You have to remember your perspective changes things. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to, which of these. Wait a minute. Let me click that forward. Okay. I need to move my upper screen out of the way. Alright, there it is. Okay, back to work. So, I'm not going to pay too much attention to where the light should be hitting each of these little blocks. I'm just going to color them all the same shade of gray so that I'll be able to go back and hit them with highlights later. And then, alright, I know that a moat might not be the most practical thing on a mountaintop, but we have one here. And never underestimate the ingenuity of humans in general. Okay, so I'm picking up some of the TV. I think I'm picking up some of the TV in the other room. Let me click up here and see. Yeah, it is picking up in the volume. Hang on just a minute. I'm going to go shut a door. Okay, I'm back. So that should be a little quieter now. So I don't have a lot of time tonight. I need to see how far I can get. Let's see. Yeah, so I'll be seeing how far I can get before I need to go to bed. Big day again tomorrow. I have errands to run. So I did something earlier today. I ordered 9th grade online for my son. So that's exciting and a little bizarre. Can't believe he's in 9th grade already. Or almost. 8th grade is nearly over with. So doesn't 9th grade count as high school? Okay, so I'm going to change over to the pen. Hit a few more of these spots. And then I'll trace around on the other side of the mountain. And I'll probably erase some of these colors out and refine where they are, as well as do the shading and highlights on them later. But I'm going to try not to spend too long on it because I really want to have these finished and sent to the letterer. And he's also going to, in addition to lettering in all the dialogue and sound effects and stuff, he's also going to do the formatting. So the sooner these are done, the better. So that I don't have to rush him as well. But yeah, I cannot believe it's happening. It's real. It's almost done. This is a really big deal for me. I've been working on this for so long. You know, bit by bit. Making sure that I can afford everything and have the money to pay for it set aside before I ever contract any freelancers to do it. Let's see. Let's take that off there. No. Okay. Because it's really not fair to hire an artist and expect them to wait to be paid until after the book succeeds. Well, if the book does not succeed, who's taking that risk? The creator would have their vanity project all done, and the artist would have put in a ton of work for nothing. So I decided pretty early on that that's not the way I'm going to be doing things. Yeah, I don't ask for something for nothing. And I pay fair rates for what I want. And I know this story's worth it. But it's nobody else's responsibility but mine to, work on it without being paid for it. Okay. So, I mean, a lot of people, they strongly disagree with this viewpoint, and, well, they can do what's right for them. I'm just telling you about my personal convictions about it. Nobody made me the arbiter of fairness in the world. But it can be argued that I am the arbiter of fairness with how I handle my own business. And this seems fair to me. I mean, it's not easy, but it is fair. So this is the Trader Town, and it's not too late to name it something else. So if anybody's watching tonight and you have a better name for a little mountaintop village, which is roughly the halfway point between two nations that are as often as not hostile to each other, but which is relatively peaceful because they sell to both. Yeah, let me know in chat. What would you like to see the place named? So, do I need to go with a dark color for all these trees, or is that going to mess with my saturation? I don't remember right now how to check saturation on the ink levels. I really hope that doesn't come back to bite me. Okay. Well, let's see. We've got like a midpoint gray here. So if I blend it out, make it look a little more... Oh, there goes autosave. If I blend it out and make it look a little more smoky. It should be alright. So this right here, this window, is on a different panel, and I've also got lattice that goes over the window right here, and that's on a different layer as well, so that when I go to color this, I don't have to squeeze in between all these little crisscross lines. I can just color from there. And it shouldn't be too difficult. I should be able to do that okay. So we're down to about 8 days before the pre-order Kickstarter ends. And then I'll order my copies, and that will be how many of this edition that I order. So if you want a guaranteed first edition copy, it would be a good idea to go ahead and order through the Kickstarter. Which is on, let's see, well, I don't really have a way to simultaneously post to all the different chats. I'd have to track them all down, I think. Pretty sure that's how that would work. And also, if you'd just like to support Other Realm Studio and help me finish getting it off the ground, and I'd just really appreciate it if you'd give my comic a shot. I'm grateful for each and every reader. I'm just really happy to be sharing the story with you. I mean, it is a nerve-wracking thing, but I am happy. Let's see. So this road that leads through the village, it's probably gonna be just a dirt road. It's gonna be safe to make it one of these grayer tinged browns. Yeah, probably that one. And what I'll probably end up doing is adding in some ruts to the road when I do the shading. But I think for right now, I'll just connect in some of these lightly sketched places so that when I do the paint bucket tool, it'll just fill in the whole road and not half the mountain. Let's see. I think that it's this one here that's the inn where these two are staying. It's front and center, and also it's got the steps in front of it. So, oh, in my script, I might have mentioned a cobblestone road. Well, that wouldn't be these paths, though, that lead between the houses. don't know, maybe it doesn't have to be cobblestone. Ah, I missed a spot. Okay, what did I miss? Here? Alright, so I've got 15, 20 minutes. To get as far as I can on the flats. And did it again. See, that spot is very lightly sketched in, which is fine, really. I'm going to fill in all that with color. There it goes. And these roofs. Is that too dark? Might be. So I think that this fortress up here at the top is going to have similar materials as the village. Let's fix that a bit. So it's all going to have a very unified, very peaceful feeling. So this one's important to go ahead and do because there's going to be some introductory dialogue on this page. And it'll set up more of the conflict for the rest of the series. Yeah, this isn't... this isn't as peaceful as it seems at first. Actually, this is a bigger one. This one might be. And here we have some stables. All the roofs are going to be made out of the same material. This is probably the same wood that they cleared out for the village. And house hidden back in there. I don't think there's any other ones. Okay. And so they'd also be using a lot of stone too after clearing out and leveling the mountain, and what they would have left over after building the fortress. So the fortress and the villages are going to have, the village houses are going to have the same type of stone in them. So that's going to be the same base color. And that base color is going to be, since they will have built with the materials that they find on site, rather than hauling them from wherever else they came from, this is going to be stone quarried from the same mountains that surround them. So it's going to be very similar in color to the actual mountains. So that'll work for flats. And that'll also keep my colors from getting cluttered. Now if I can stick mostly to neutrals and some green. And that'll go a long way toward keeping my mood for the entire village peaceful. Yeah, there are a lot of conventions in storytelling, but in the beginning, generally you kind of want at least a sense of the way the world ought to be. This is the world at peace. And then the rest of the story is when you're trying to restore that peace or that balance and set the world to right again. And it also lets your readers know what's at stake if your heroes do not succeed. And there's some people who skip this and they begin like right in the middle of the action, and it just, you can, if there's some kind of sense of what is lost or what stands to be lost in the conflict. But if you rely too much on that, then you lose all sense of why is it important? Why does it matter? There goes autosave again. See, if you have a nation that's always been at war and everything is grim and the reader never sees it at peace, then what's the difference between peace and war? It's all the same. There's no stakes between the way things are and the way things could be. It's all going to be more of the same. And I do like a more character-driven story. I mean, just having a set of circumstances for a character is not the same as developing that character. Okay, so the grass is going to be a little different of a shade than the trees. And I need to come back in and make these trees sensible colors. Oh, missed. Let's see. And I'm going to want the moat to reflect the color of the sky. So I guess I can go ahead and pop the light blue in there. So this is an area that intends to remain sovereign so that it can trade between the two nations. And with that in mind, they fortified their tiny little village, and it's a little bit inconvenient for anyone else to reach, so, or well, it's a little inconvenient to hike all the way up the mountain and not have a place to stay. So they make a good business out of being neutral. So I'm going to fill that in and make that gray. Let's see. So I'm trying to watch the clock here. So that I'm not late. I do tend to want to do more than I actually have time for. What can I say? I love what I do. And I hate leaving things half done. So I'm going to have this roughed out so I can come back to it tomorrow and take a good look at it, see if I still like my colors the way they are or if I need to change anything. I might have to do a different shade for the green. Let me back out of this, or fit to screen. There. Yeah, I don't know if I need to leave the trees this bluish green or if I should if I should change them, or if maybe it's this shade of green around the village houses that needs to change. So I'm going to come down here to our colors for panel 2. So I've already established this color for the wood, so I know that much. And I should go back to my other page that I've already colored to make sure that I have the references right for everything in this room. So, do I have that? No, it's not that one. That one. So yeah, I've already got this one back from the letterer, Wes Loker, and it looks really good. Well, at least I've got the JPEGs back, and he's going to be in charge of formatting. So let's see. So I don't really need the Photoshop files yet. Although I will want them for my records. So let me see what else we got. Remember, I had this tone for her. And after I color in everything, I could even lighten up the line work. Oh, missed. Is that the shade, or was this the shade? Yeah, this was the shade so that I have room to put shadows in. Let me zoom in on that a little. So I'm still going to have to come back tomorrow and fill in all these spots that are white. No, I think I did have her hair lighter than that. And his. So this is really going to add to the story. I'm really happy that I have this. And it's just going to make issue 1 even better. And let me come up here and check. Hmm. Now that's interesting. Yeah, I'm getting an unknown error on my chat screen on Restream.io. I kind of thought it would resolve itself, but who am I kidding? Things don't really resolve themselves. So if you've left a comment in the chat and I haven't responded, I just can't see anything right now. I'm not ignoring anybody. I just, I can't see. So let me see. It's time to go. I didn't quite get everything. Let me hit that. Come on, that's the next biggest patch of color right here. Is the background of the couch. And then I had, pretty sure it was that shade there. And let's get back here. No, not there. Okay. See, I think that was meant to be a darker color. Yeah, it was. There's so much else I want to do, but I do have to go now. And I'll be able to make a lot of progress on this tomorrow in the morning, not so much in the evening. So I won't be live streaming tomorrow at 9 p.m. I might do one in the morning, depending on how early I get up. I'm not going to make any promises. So let me make sure I save all this. I'm so excited. I'm almost done. Let's see. Do I have prologue pages in here? Finished ones? No, weirdly, I do not. Why not? I guess they can still go in this folder though. Oh, and here's the next one. Mia took my sketches and made them so much better. And this horse is very well done. I like it. This is really nice. This just makes me so happy right here. This is great. Also, she looks really heavy right there. I mean, the weight of dragging her through the water, like you can really feel it. And that's just in the black and white. Let's see. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, and come stop by my site, www.otherrealmstudio.com, and check out my Kickstarter to pre-order your copy of issue 1 of Soulbound Adrift, and you'll get to see what all this story is about and what it's leading up to. And that's all for tonight. Good night. I'll see you in the other realm.